As was announced a few days ago, a new comic series titled The Rise of Kylo Ren is slated to release this December. The series will be written by Charles Soule, and that's pretty much all we know about it. Which is fine by me. I always prefer going into these stories, these situations, as blind as I possibly can be. Now, when I first saw this news posted, I completely missed the part where it said comic. I thought it was going to be a novel. And when I thought it was going to be a novel, my excitement was way up here. And that's just as high as my arm can go. It was higher. Then I realized it was a comic, and that excitement level sank down a little bit. Look, I like comics. I like Charles Soule. I've read about 15 issues or so of his Dark Lord of the Sith series. It's fun, it's well written. But if I had a choice, I just prefer books, I prefer novels. And this is a story I've always wanted. You've probably always wanted it too, right? A little backstory, a little history, the rise of Kylo Ren. I'm craving a book. I would assume this comic series will at least brush over Kylo's upbringing, childhood, his adolescence. You know, we've had some novels that feature toddler Ben or baby Ben, but he's never really been the main focus. Just kind of there to show that his parents are busy. Oftentimes, he seems to be an afterthought in their minds, or at least it feels that way. It would make sense for this series to show more of that, even if it's just a few pages in a page-turning montage. Again, this is all assumption, but I'm guessing when this series is finished, we'll be looking at a pretty comprehensive Kylo Ren backstory from youth to First Order. While I am excited to have all that in comic form, I would much rather have it as a novel or as a series of novels. You know, it's a big story, and of course you can tell big stories in comics. Of course you can. I'm not saying you can't, of course you can. But I like my big stories and big books. I can get lost in a book. And I've never really been able to completely get into a comic when I'm reading a comic. I don't know why. Of course, it's all personal preference. You know, I'm curious. Would you guys rather have this story told in comic or book form? There's a poll on the screen. You just have to click that little icon to answer it. Anyway, I really hope at some point we get a novel on this subject. I mean, there's a Phasma novel. Why not have a Kylo Ren novel? I'm sure I'll end up picking up this Kylo comic series. Not because I'm much of a comic reader. I appreciate the artwork, but I just fly through it too quick. I think I'd pick it up because I just want to know the information.